Hello, welcome to Wahoo Warrior. We're about ready to be kicking off our campaign that we're going to be running. December 16th, we're going to play 2 matches. And the way we're going to be doing this campaign is we're going to be playing Eastern Front and Western Front games. I'm going to be playing the British for the Western Front, and Alan's going to be playing the Germans. We play 6 games for each side, and out of those 6 games, we're going to determine a Western Front winner, an Eastern Front winner, and an overall winner. The campaign rules basically are going to be 750 points for the first 2 games, 1,000 points for the second games. We're going to be using the Bolt Action Season2.net rules, as well as single platoon rules to kind of keep it more of a tournament format. Other than the last set of when we get to 1250, we can add those 250 points in any way we like, and we can basically break the rules for normal army building. So basically our setting for our Western Front, we're not super particular about the specifics, but we're going to be playing mostly early war, and a good setting for us is going to be the Norway campaign where Germany invades Norway. British forces did land in Norway and attempted to assist the Norwegians, but they were so surprised that it was kind of a lost cause. The list I'm running and the list Alan's going to be running is mainly going to be early war. I think the only thing that I have in my list that is mid-war is an LVT-4 Buffalo. And I'm going to validate that to myself as the British did amphibious landings in Norway, and I don't know what they exactly used, but this is what I'm going to use, and I can justify taking it because I want to play with one. Yeah, my army list, I still have a little bit to build. I've got a boys anti-tank rifle team in the mail, but here's basically going to be my list for the 750. Now, devising our list, which is important because when we add the 250 points to make it 1,000, it still has to be a valid army. My projected for myself is probably going to take a lead tank, which will take up almost 250 of all the 250 points. It'll take 220. But I'm also thinking I may take a Stuart tank, and then that will leave me 100 and some points for some other stuff. But my list is going to be, it's a light anti-tank gun, or it's actually a light howitzer. The British fire it as a light anti-tank gun as well. According to the Bolt Action Season 2 rules, I don't think it will get to start. If it starts on the board, I don't think it would get to start an ambush because it's technically a howitzer. It just can fire as an anti-tank gun. That may come in to play later, but it's a very versatile weapon. I think Alan's going to be taking a Panzer III, and I think it's going to be the one with the 8 armor. So I should be able to, with my list, be able to do some damage to it, or at least put some pins on it. Next to the anti-tank / howitzer is a Piat crew. Now I'm actually taking a boys anti-tank rifle crew. Like I said, I ordered them. They should be in the mail. They should be getting here any day, and I'll get them assembled before the 16th. Other than that, I'll have to proxy this in. So the anti-tank rifle has a +2 penetration. So even on a Panzer III with 8 armor, I can technically put pins on it. Well, another caveat is none of our only 2 things in our list can be veteran to start the game, because with our campaign rules, things that die, we have to roll on a chart to see what happens to them. They'll come back, but they may be replaced with inexperienced troops. If they survive, they can get buffs, and we'll go over all that breakdown here. I can go over some of it right now. Basically, we're going to score every point, every game. Whoever wins the match with a win based on the scenario objectives will gain an extra 250 battle points. Otherwise, you're going to be collecting battle points throughout the entire campaign to determine the overall winner. If a unit is destroyed, infantry, or if it's destroyed, roll a d6 at the end of the game. If you roll a 6, you replace it as is, so that's good. Unit, if you're a 5, it's replaced, but loses any upgrades that you might have gotten, excluding morale boost. 4, morale is lowered by 1 for the next game. A 3 is lowered by 1, the morale for the remainder of the campaign. A 2, morale is changed in experience regardless of current morale. and lose any upgrades. And if you roll a 1, the unit has Shirker rule for the next game, 1 game only. You know, this basically will like if you lose a favorite NCO on the unit, because our campaign is basically going to take place over 2 weeks. And in a 2 weeks time, guys come and go from a unit after combat. Sometimes they get dejected, and etc. If they survive, you can gain buffs like Tough Fighter rule, Tank Killer rule, the Fanatics rule. You can gain an extra NCO for your unit. NCO can get a battlefield promotion and gain +1 in leadership checks as per a lieutenant, but he can't leave his unit. And the unit could increase its morale. Vehicles, we have a buff on them too. You can get like a speed burst once per game, extra movement. You can lose the move and fire penalty on one weapon, things like that. And the headquarters can be upgraded, can get their morale raised and things like that. So it should be interesting. We've never really run this like this before, so we will see how it goes. So, you know, basically our thought is, you know, over the course of a 2-week engagement period, an infantry squad, you know, being eliminated doesn't mean always that everyone's dead. It's just they're taken out of combat effectiveness, and they're going to re-merge with some other units or gain replacements. The replacements could be, you know, fresh troops, and it could maybe not affect the combat ability of the unit. A unit can also just receive, you know, several orders back to back from command, and they get dejected, and they maybe start off as and that's the key to this campaign. If you take veterans right away, they could really be damaged quite a bit, and you'd be basically losing a lot of points. You take inexperienced and hope for buffs. You know, that may work out, but you may end up with a garbage army. So it's kind of interesting. So getting back to my army list, I've got 3 units of 8 infantry. Now I normally run them in 9, but I really want to get a couple tweaks in my army, so I'm just running them as 8. Those are all 3 regular infantry units. They all have a light machine gun, since they're only 5 points into the Bolt Action Season 2 rules. I had to drop my medium machine gun. I really wanted to take a medium machine gun, but I ended up dropping it, because not pictured in this picture, because I'm going to have to borrow them from Alan, are 2 Jeeps. And the Jeeps, the more and more I thought about it, I ended up adding 2 Jeeps with 2 heavy machine guns. They're a heavy machine gun in each. So I'm going to have the light anti-tank gun. I'm going to have tank rifle. I'm going to have 2 heavy machine guns. And then the Buffalo, I went ahead and put the 35-point upgrade for the light autocannon on it. So I have a lot of small anti-tank stuff. And I'm hoping, if he does bring a Panzer III or even an early version Panzer IV, that I can just pin the turd out of it. And if I can't kill it early game, I just keep it ineffective. Plus I have my artillery observer. So yeah, back to my list. I got a 2nd lieutenant with the +1 bonus. He's a regular. I've got a heavy mortar, inexperienced with a spotter, so even that has some anti-tank capability against weak stuff, at least pinning. I got the Ford artillery observer, who's been renowned for blowing myself up, so I'll have to be very careful how I deploy that as far as when I decide to shoot. And then I've got my little treasure unit back in the back right, and the models are commandos, but I'm running them as a home guard unit. That's at least the statistics for a home guard unit. And I know that home guard militia didn't actually land in Norway, but basically in my list I'm running them as Royal Marines, and they are basically a hodgepodge of guys that accompanied in my mind anyway, the landing craft, and they are basically thrust into combat. So I'm using the statistics as a home guard. So they're inexperienced. I did put like 3 shotguns in there to give them a little extra close combat and for the novelty of it. The LVT-4 Buffalo has a 7-up open top. It's got 2 360-degree medium machine guns, and I went ahead and paid the upgrade for the 35 points for the light autocannon. So it's basically my ad hoc 24-man carrying tank for this campaign. And I had to make it inexperienced to fit the points in. I do have a very strong fear that I will load that thing up with a lot of guys and I will fail every bring on check from reserve, but that's the risk that you take when you're trying to save points in your list. I think I do have, the only thing else I have is the 2 Jeeps with the heavy machine guns. So I'm going to have a very mobile list for 750. Like I said, when we get to 1,000, I may add a tank. I'll probably have to fit it in my points, or I could add a veteran squad or something. But well, that's that. So looking forward to that. That'll be next week. We're going to start 2 games for the Western Front, then we'll go over and play 2 games on the Eastern Front probably a week later. So the only other thing that I have is I kind of made a little battle report. It's a fun game that I decided to play. My daughter is always interested in miniatures. She used to be interested in a lot of the fantasy stuff. We've spent a lot of time together painting stuff. She likes to paint like birds and things like that, and there's not a whole lot of fun stuff in bolt action for her to paint, but she's still always very interested in what I'm doing, so I like to try to spend time with her and let her make a mess with some paints, painting an eagle or something while I work on my miniatures. But so she's got all these toy dinosaurs, so we decided to play a little game together, and made a quick set of rules. I think I described them in my opening video. It's just for fun, but it's funny how bolt action kind of works, and made it kind of a balanced, fun little game. Go to that. Hello, this is a fun little game here from Wahoo Warrior. It's going to be right around 750 points. It's going to be my British, run by me, against the Nazi Dinosaurs. It's going to be run by my daughter Riley. Say hello. Riley's dinosaurs are right here. Go over the army list real quick. This is basically a 750 point list that I'm going to be starting a campaign with. Minus a few, I have a couple proxies because I have some stuff en route. I have a regular unit infantry with a light machine gun. We're using the bolt action season 2 rules, so the light machine guns are 5 points. A 10-man squad with a light machine gun. The 8-man squads have a submachine gun in there as well. There's another 8-man squad there. This is a unit here. They look like commandos, but actually I'm running this home guard. In our little campaign, they're basically going to be my Royal Marines, who kind of are ad hoc thrown into the battle. So they're home guard. They have 5 shotguns. And then, so they're inexperienced. This is a Buffalo. It's a Cromwell tank. I took the top off. My Buffalo is still being shipped. But it's got 2 medium machine guns. It doesn't have the upgrade to the autocannon. I've got the light and a tank gun. Got a sniper unit, a medium machine gun unit, a medium mortar, inexperienced. This is a Jeep. It's supposed to be a Jeep. And then I've got a free artillery observer, my lieutenant with a +1 bonus, and then a Piatti. Now the dinosaurs, they're a little bit different. Dinosaurs, there's 3 squads here. There's 1 squad of 10, 1, 2, 3 squads of 10. The little guys are basically like Chindits, not Chindits, Gurkhas. They have tough fighters through the whole bunch of them. The only thing, they're not going to have the scary blighters rule, because that's just too powerful. That Gurkha rule. I am giving it to the big guys, but not to the little ones. So they're all tough fighter veterans. And then I've got, there's 5 big dinosaurs. They're all going to be the 6 up to wound. In close combat, they do D6 HE hits. They ignore walls because they're big like that. Movement is 12 inches for the big guys, and it's considered 12 inches tracked, so they can basically run through woods, or, well, not run through woods, but move through things as if it would be a tracked vehicle, ignoring walls and hedges and things. These guys are they just move normally, the 6-inch move. And then this guy here in the middle is the T-Rex. T-Rex is a 7-up armor, and other than that, we've got 2 our Nazi commanders here. This guy here is +3 bonus, and this guy here is +2 bonus. And basically, they give a 6-inch radius for leadership checks. The Nazi handlers of the dinosaurs, controllers. All of the
status is for morale for the dinosaurs are veteran, but they have shirkers. So they have to test to do anything because you never know what dinosaurs are going to do. And that should be the army list. Oh, there's also 2 pterodactyls. The way the pterodactyls work, it works like you're calling in an artillery strike or a mortar shot. They need a 6 to hit. If they do hit, you get a reactionary fire against the pterodactyl. Whatever the unit that it's targeting is, they get to fire at it. Just like with the normal flak rules, so you probably need 6s to hit. And if you're unsuccessful, you take D3 HE hits, and then the unit and every unit. Oh, it's D6 hits, just like a D6 with a +2 penetration, and then that unit and every unit around it, just like an airstrike would take, takes D3 pins within 6 inches. Because it's pretty scary to watch your mates get snatched up and carried off into the sky. Alright, so we're going to start playing a game.
So I just kind of run through, basically we're playing the hold until relieved. So I got a Piat team in the middle, and I put them with the Season 2 rules. You can start them in the ambush. I do that. The half track is a Jeep with a medium machine gun on it. And then so I start pulling order. I just move my mortar in, move my machine gun team in. Got my artillery observer up there on the hill. You know, I got a sniper here. He's set up on top of that building. He's on the roof, so that was kind of dumb. Should have put him inside there. So I forgot about the pterodactyl. So she starts moving some of these big dinosaurs in, hiding behind the thing there. Pterodactyl, you just stuck on the board somewhere. It didn't really matter. Go ahead and shoot this dude. She shoots the pterodactyl at that. Tries to swoop off with a sniper and misses with a 3. Run these guys into the wall. And what's so funny about this game is that when we made up the rules, it's kind of just trying to goofing around, but it really kind of works when you come up using the bolt action rules. It was very simple. Basically, her list is a bunch of Gurkhas with some weird big dinosaurs in it. There's lots of moving on. There's her Nazi little commander. I was waiting for her to fail a fanatics check during the game and actually like attack her own commander. That'd be kind of funny, cinematic, but it didn't happen. Here, my medium machine gun opens up on that dinosaur in the woods. I thought, aha, I'll put a pin on it and force that shirker check, but I didn't even hit. And she's being, you know, she's 9, so she's goofing. She's bringing these guys. She's being very cautious. She charges the Jeep with the guy, and she only gets 1 hit on it, but then she rolls a 6. I couldn't believe that. She rolled badly, got 1 hit, and then rolled a 6. So killed my Jeep since it's soft skin. Got a dinosaurs just moving and everywhere. She's got them pretty far off to the sides, but she's just being cautious. I don't think she wants to get shot. This is my LVT-4 Buffalo. Throwing a lot of medium machine gun shots out there, but can't really hit nothing. I bring my howitzer in to prep it to get ready to shoot something. She goes ahead and goes after the sniper with the other pterodactyl and misses. So that's fortunate. And these are just my guys that are inside the Buffalo. And her last squad comes in kind of middle. So there's that.
Alright, that's the end of turn 1. Not a lot going on, just the British moving in, all the dinosaurs coming in. Nothing really happened from the way I wanted it to go. My big thing is, I'm not planning to kill these big dinosaurs right away or anything. I just need to get some pins on them. Since they are shirkers, they can fail their order checks and then just stand around the whole game. But I wasn't able to even score any hits with a bunch of shooting. But what are you thinking, Riley?
I want to win.
Yeah? What are you planning to do next turn? Just attack? Okay.
And move.
Yeah, move and attack. You got your dinosaurs spread out quite a bit. which is actually good. I still have a air observer here that I didn't shoot.
One of them looks like a big fish dinosaur.
Huh?
One of them over there looks like a dinosaur fish.
The guys?
No, one of the heads looks like a dinosaur.
Oh, it's camouflage. Okay, so now we pick up the dice and we go to the next turn.
Runs this big guy over here behind this little thing to aim at the mortar. And one of the things, those big dinosaurs, they got, you know, a 12-inch move, so they're basically a wheeled tank, and they can run 24 inches quite a bit. Looks like, oh, my buffalo comes charging up and starts spraying machine gun fire and rolls poorly again. These guys just come running up this way. Pterodactyl tries to get the sniper again, but misses. I do put a pin on this big one. I guess I did hit him with a machine gun, so I had hit him. And oh, he comes charging out. He's trying to run at the buffalo, which would force those guys to bail out and fight. My Piat, which was in ambush, fires, and he's able to hit it and kill it, so he saved the buffalo. But for his troubles, he gets attacked by the other one, which is better than attacking the buffalo, because then all the guys would have to bail out. And he eats me, and I actually roll a 6, and so miraculously shove a round down the beast's throat, or it blows up while he's eating my guy. So killed them. Mortar's trying to shoot at that big squad. This other squad decides to come over and start coming towards the middle, or ran across the street to there. These guys are just advancing up the road. And then I take a shot at that dude, but I miss him because I had to wheel around and take a -1 in the Season 2 rules. There's his major or whatever. T-Rex comes up here. He's got the edge of the building, and he's looking to charge my medium machine gun at the top of the hill. So yeah, a lot of stuff just moving around. So we just kind of start quick playing because Mom hassling us about Riley having to take a bath. So this guy charges a mortar and obviously eats that really easily. And then T-Rex tries to charge, and I wasn't sure the distance of this because he ignores walls when he's running, so he doesn't even have to go around a wall or anything. And thankfully he was just a few inches short of my machine gun team, because he would have easily ate them and then consolidated down towards those other guys, and that would have been really, he's a 7-up open top, so it would have been bad. So over here these guys just kind of are coming this way, and they're gonna assault these dudes. And I thought, since I was going at the same time, since I'm defending that little obstacle thing, that I'd have a chance against these guys. And I didn't even give these guys the scary blighters rule like the Gurkhas have, because that's just too much. It's just too much. But yeah, I don't even know if I killed one. I mean, that was horrible. I mean, we just had him as veterans, and he gobbled those guys up. Going the same time, I rolled poorly. I think I had 10 attacks, maybe less, maybe more by 1. But yeesh. So that didn't. I was expecting to maybe whittle them down some. Didn't do that. So the buffalo comes over, starts firing some machine guns into him. Didn't do squat because they do have cover now. Didn't do squat to them. And I've got some infantry in this thing, since they never had to unload. But yeah, I'm thinking, well, I got this home guard unit with all these shotguns. I can't assault when they're trying to jump out of a thing, but I figured if I get out and start firing. Well, I forgot. Shotguns are they're not 2 shots. I think assault rifles should be the same rule, honestly, as the shotgun. I think they should be assault weapon, 1 shot shooting, 2 attacks in close combat. Don't take the move and shoot penalty. I think for 5 points, assault rifles are kind of bull crap. And I play Germans for another army. I just think they should be the same. They're better than a shotgun in that they have a better range. But anywho, I mean, these guys are inexperienced, so that doesn't help them, even though they don't have for a couple of their rifle or shotguns don't take the move and fire penalty. They only kill like 1. dinosaur. It's like, man, that's not good. So there's still like 8 of them there. That's like 16 close combat attacks. And she's got 2 more units of these things. So it's like, wow. We have to actually pick up the game. We're going to leave it overnight, but then I ended up getting a match down in Omaha with the guys. I needed to take my British guys, so we ended up just picking it up. But it was pretty fun. We probably should have started already on the board. It would have sped things up quite a bit. That when you're moving everybody in turn 1, you can just kind of slow it down. I mean, for a 9-year-old, she wants to just roll dice and eat guys, and she did do that. So it was fun. We might play another game of this. Just to get her, or maybe I'll buy her a Gurk army. So, thanks.